Hour on Thursday, the Thursday of the James W. Memorial Weiner Wellness Week. Wellness Week 102. Wow, 102nd Wellness Week. So we're here on the demo hour today to demo one of the diagnostic devices that we have. And it's not really a diagnostic device, but it kind of gives you a snapshot of the two real underlying causes of your health, whether it's good or bad. And that is heavy metal toxicity and nutrient deficiency. And what we use to do that is something called the OligoScan. The OligoScan is French, German technology. It's been around about 10 or 12 years, maybe a little longer, but it was designed in Europe, and it uses something called spectrophotography. Spectrophotography is the measurement of light. Okay, so but all chemicals will absorb light at a specific wavelength. And what the OligoScan program has done they have measured the light absorbance capacity of 15 metals, 21 minerals, and 7 vitamins. And then by using an infrared camera, handheld camera, we're going to measure in the palm of the hand the tissue density of those chemicals based on how they absorb the infrared light from the camera. And that'll be measured against normal ranges. And then we'll show you what it brings up. So volunteering today, he's been in the military, so he knows what volunteering means.
Never volunteer.
No, but you did. And that in military terms, that means selected, right?
Right.
No, so
please step forward.
Yes. So Kevin has volunteered. He signed away all his rights when he went to work here. So we're going to do the test on Kevin. We'll show you, and you'll be able to see exactly what the OligoScan does. And the OligoScan we do here at the World of Wellness. It's a $99 test right now. It's normally $199. We've discounted it. So it's a $99 test that you can have done. And the only thing we need, it's non-invasive, but you do need to know your blood type. Without your blood type, we will not get a correct reading. So the things that are necessary to get this reading are height, weight, age, gender, blood type. That's it. That's all we need to know. Now, I just want to make a quick note that on gender, they only give us 2 options. So,
I picked one of the 2.
You did. Good. All right. So we put in Kevin's vital information. We already got that in here, and we saved it. And now we're going to complete the test itself. Now, Phil, you can share this screen. Okay. All right, Kev. Now I need you to switch that. I need your left hand palm up right there. Okay. And when we do the test, we prefer that you don't have any creams or lotions or anything on your hand. And I don't think Kevin uses a whole lot of he don't have any lotion on his hands. Okay. But we're going to make 4 readings. Now, as you can see on the screen, it tells you exactly where to make the reading and when to move to the next. It really kind of idiot proofs it. So we put the camera on there. We take the first reading. It says move to the second. We move. We take the second. Go to the third reading and the fourth. And that is the extent of the test. And it takes a few seconds, but then we get our readings. Now, what we're going to see on here, and we'll talk to Kevin about this and see if we can get some indication of, what's going on. But on here, we're going to see first the mineral density. And on mineral density here, you're going to see a series of lines, and they are either going to be green, yellow, or red. Green, of course, are ideal ranges. Yellow are cautionary, depending on the mineral. We'll discuss that. And red means there's either a deficiency or an excess. And now remember, this is measuring what's in the tissues of your body. Now, blood tests measure what's circulating, right? Blood circulates, not stagnant. Urine measures what you've expelled. Hair measures old. because it's damaged and old and chemically, been played with by most people. But what's in your tissue is there, doesn't change. And when we think about toxins, we've been saying for years that toxins reside in fat tissue, in tissue, when you do not expel them. Now, for toxins, this is going to show a buildup, but for nutrients like minerals and vitamins, it's going to show your reservoir of those nutrients. Okay. So if we look here, we see that calcium is a little bit high, but it's in the normal range, still high normal. It didn't cross over into the red. And magnesium is a little bit in the low range. So that it tells me that maybe we have a little bit of an imbalance there on calcium, magnesium. The ratio still seems good, but it's not where we would like it to be, which would be in the green. So we'll address that. But the thing that I see right off the bat here is phosphorus in the red. Now, what a lot of people don't realize is that phosphorus is one of the key bone matrix minerals, and it's one of the most abundant minerals in the body. Okay. Calcium is the most abundant mineral, but many people think that magnesium is the second. It's not. It's actually fourth or fifth. It's calcium, phosphorus, potassium, then magnesium. Okay. So it's phosphorus is an important mineral, and it shows up quite a bit because we don't get that as readily from our diet as we do some of the other minerals. So the first thing we would recommend here for Kevin would be to get his phosphorus levels up. And there's some nutrients we'll recommend for that. Now, it's important for bone health, good bone health. Okay. So it's a cautionary there for bone health that we'll address.
Now, the type of diet plays a role in this, correct?
Yes, correct. Well, your diet lifestyle plays a role in all of these. Absolutely does. Right. So you're not getting enough phosphorus. That would tell me probably not enough green vegetables in your diet, Kev. And he's nodding because he knows. Okay. Okay. So let's move down the line. We've got sodium, silicon, not bad. Sodium is excellent. Sodium, you are right on the line. Potassium's good. Copper and zinc are good. That's good. Iron is good. Yeah, manganese. Now, chromium, just slightly low, just slightly. But chromium plays a major role in insulin resistance and blood sugar maintenance. Okay, so chromium is a trace mineral. And again, those are hard to get in your diet.
Now, I take the mineral rich every day.
Mm-hmm.
So I take a teaspoon. Does this indicate I should?
It indicates that you should probably increase that a little bit. Yes. And we would probably, the trace minerals in mineral rich are not that high. So you might want to look at probably something that has more chromium, like, for example, glucose. Okay. It has a nice amount. And trace minerals are always in micrograms. So there's very small. So it's hard to get that in your diet. And that's why we would recommend that supplementing with about 200 micrograms a day. All right. So vanadium is the other mineral important in blood sugar, but that's good. Okay. Boron just slightly high. You got a lot of greens here. And if we go down, selenium slightly low. Selenium, again, another trace mineral. And where you're doing well with all these greens from the mineral rich.
Right.
But the trace minerals, because they're in micrograms, they're going to need a little bit more.
Okay.
Okay. Selenium also measured in micrograms. Okay.
And then probably the protein greens. And I do primarily a carnivore diet.
Right.
So
yes, I would increase the greens.
greens.
Yeah, you're going to have to increase the greens. Now, the other thing I want to make note of here is sulfur. And sulfur is a little bit low, almost dangerously low. And sulfur plays a major role in healing in the body as well. So I think that's a little bit related also to this phosphorus up here. Okay, important. That's why in our HA plus formula, we have our hyaluronic acid from type 2 BioCell type 2 collagen, but we also have MSM in there. Okay, 200 milligrams. MSM is vital for healing, especially with bones. Okay. All right. So now let's take a look further down. Now it's going to give you some it's going to summarize some things, right? So the mineral, because he had a red line on phosphorus, he's going to get a red line down here. And sometimes if you just have 3 or more in the high low here, you will get the red line deficiency as well. So it's kind of a cumulative thing. Okay, nothing wrong excess wise. Now let's take a look at his vitamins. Wow, this is interesting. Vitamin A, great. Vitamin B12, vitamin C, and vitamin E, all in the green zone. Excellent antioxidant protection here. B6, okay, acceptable. And B9, folic acid, acceptable. But D, wow, D is deficient in the tissues. All right, so are you taking a D supplement?
I'm not.
Well, it's time to start.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
time to start. Yeah. Vitamin D. Now, all right. Somebody in the audience said, go out in the sun. It is nice today. Let's talk about that. I know. Let's talk about that real quick. Yes, the best place to get vitamin D is from the sun. However, you got to be between 11 and 2, and you got to have about 75 to 80% of your body exposed. So it's bathing suit dress. Yes.
So I can do this on lunch.
Yes. Up on a roof.
Yeah.
Up on the roof. Yeah, as long as it's on the roof. Yeah. Not in the parking lot. And here's the other thing about getting vitamin D from the sun. You can only, in Pittsburgh, especially in this part of the country, you can only get vitamin D from the sun between May and August. Why? You know why? Because the sun has to be at a certain degree in the sky for the UVB rays to penetrate. So all these other months, it's too low in the sky. No vitamin D. I mean, in April, if you were in April and we got an 80-degree day and it was a Sunday and you went out all day in the sun, you'd get 0 vitamin D. So we really are deficient up here. We have to supplement with vitamin D where we live. Okay. And later on in this test, you'll see because his antioxidants were so high and so good, it'll be beneficial later on. Okay, heavy metals. Well, no big surprise. Mercury comes up almost 100% of the time. Almost 100%. Okay, so do you have a history of fillings?
Yes.
All right. Did you ever have them removed?
No.
Okay. So what's happening is, even though those fillings were probably put in how long ago?
Years.
As the enamel around the filling wears down, more of the mercury gets exposed. And as it does, it absorbs into your tissues. Okay, so that's where the probably 95% of it's coming from.
Could the aluminum be coming from deodorant?
Yes. Now, one thing you have to understand about this test, what you did yesterday makes no difference. This is a look at your life. When people say, I don't use aluminum to cook with anymore, but you probably did your whole life. Mm-hmm. Okay, and if you never got that out of the tissue, it's still there. Okay, metals don't come out unless you pull them out.
We talked about changing deodorant, so I changed to the Tide deodorant.
Right.
And a month ago.
Yes. So that was good. But prior to that, you were using one with aluminum.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you go. That's where it's coming from. Okay. And then we see silver a lot, still a lot of cookware, jewelry things, about what people work, where they work, what they do. If they work with a lot of metals and things, then you're going to see accumulations. Now, some of these heavy metals are found in the ground, okay, like arsenic, okay, but he's still in the good range there. It's because he doesn't eat any vegetables. And what's really interesting here is, most of the metals that are in the ground are low for Kev because he doesn't consume a whole lot of green food, okay? But mercury is not one of those. Now, gadolinium is one I always look at, and that's right here. And gadolinium is usually found high in people that have had a lot of MRIs. Usually, yeah. Yeah. Have you had any MRIs?
None.
Well, there you go. That's why it's that dye. It's in the dye. Okay. Let's take a look here. Lead looks good. You want to know why his lead looks good? Because he doesn't eat any vegetables. Now, and he eats a carnivore diet. Now, did you ever hear of Prop 65? Prop 65 is in California. Proposition 65. It's they have the strictest lead level acceptance of anywhere, and it's even the FDA says they're ridiculous in their lead levels. Why? I don't know why they decided to do this, but you could see in California, there are buildings, and on the front of the building it says has to have the Prop 65 warning that this building has unhealthy levels of lead. So supplements that have anything grown in the ground in them, which is where lead is, it's in the ground. And if you eat a salad, you're going to get more lead than you would get in any supplement. But exactly, yes.
So with the proline greens, with the chlorella and the spirulina, that will aid in getting rid of some of these metals.
Yes, because chlorella and spirulina are chelators. So they do the job of clawing and pulling the toxins out of the tissue so that the liver then can eliminate them or pass them into the bowel and bladder to be eliminated. Those are the multiple stages of detoxification.
You're seeing a trend here, Joe.
Yeah, we are, Kev. Yeah, we are. Okay. You don't drink the greens either, do you?
I don't.
Yeah. Well,
Live Complete, though.
Yeah.
I do Live Complete.
Okay. That's good. We need those greens. Let me see anything else here. Cadmium. Well, cadmium again is in the ground, but mostly in root type things, rice, potato, and rice especially. It's in brown rice, heavy in brown rice. But any root vegetables as well, potatoes, radishes, things in the dirt. Okay, so let's go down. So because of that red line in mercury, he's getting an overall intoxication. And then it says a blockage suspicion of heavy metal elimination, possibly due to lack of sulfur conjugation. Well, let's take a quick look up here on his minerals. And look what's low, sulfur. Okay, so he's not processing those metals well because of lack of sulfur in the body. And that is verified by this part of the test right here. Okay. So it's nice. This thing gives you a lot of correlations. Okay, we go further down, and now it's going to give us some of the common ratios. CalMag, they were both in the yellow, so the ratio is going to be in the yellow. Calcium phosphorus, remember his phosphorus was in the red. So there's why that ratio is off. The next one is sodium potassium. Sodium potassium, usually if it's not in the green, it's in the yellow, so it's not bad. But usually it's one of a couple of things. It's either a dehydration issue, okay, or it is you're not eating enough sodium. We went on everybody went against salt, right? Oh, salt will kill you. Well, not the good salt, not the Himalayan pink salt.
Mine's definitely dehydration.
Yours could be and the third is pH balance. And that's probably contributing with his lack of green food. So pH balance is probably off. Okay. Now, Kevin's a healthy guy. Look, there's no doubt about that. But these are internal tissue things that could cause problems later on. Copper zinc is good.
Almost gives you a little roadmap to a course adjust.
Sure does. Yes.
Just adjust the course a little bit.
That's exactly right. Now, if you remember, his antioxidants were very high in the green. And here it shows. Oxidative aggression on the left is telling you tissue damage from, injuries, surgeries, wear and tear, heavy exercise, things like that. So his is acceptable. But if it was in the red, if it was down here, as long as the oxidative protection is in the green, it balances it off. So right now, Kev's got great antioxidant protection. So this doesn't matter. Completely negates any kind of oxidative aggression. So free radical damage, like we talked about in the first hour today, you're not a problem. You don't have a problem with free radical damage. And then lastly, the test gives you some interpretations of some of these correlations. So heavy metal intoxication was in the red, right? Now look at that. We talked about his sodium potassium being off. And I said it sometimes is due to pH balance off, and acidosis is in the red. That's an imbalance of pH. That's because of his carnivore diet. Mm-hmm. Okay. Too much acid, not enough pH. Okay. Not enough alkaline, I mean. No predisposition for allergies. That's really good. The diabetes is showing cautionary. And does anybody remember why? What trace mineral showed low? Chromium. Chromium shows low, and that's why that's giving him a predisposition, because chromium is the gatekeeper for insulin to get sugar or glucose into the cell.
Right, because I don't eat sugar or carbs, so I'm
No,
not getting it from
it's not
that.
that. It's just
Right.
that you're not efficiently allowing insulin to get that glucose into your cells.
Okay.
Okay. So that chromium, that tiny little trace mineral, is that important. But a lot of green here. This is looking great. Enzymatic state is good. Intestinal assimilation. This means he's got good enzyme capability. This means from what he is eating, he's absorbing nutrients. Okay. Metabolism is great.
That's probably from the mineral rich.
Yes. And the immune system is really good. Cognitive function is okay. But that's probably a result of working here.
Yeah.
Okay. Hormonal state is good. Good. How old are you, Kev?
55.
55. So good hormone balancing going on here. Tissue repair because of the antioxidant support he has, we saw. Excellent. Emotional state, again, that's working here. Cardiovascular system is good. Okay. Not great, but good. Nervous system, good. No problems there. So basically, with Kev, we just picked up a couple of things. His diet, which is a mostly meat diet, right? Carnivore diet, is showing that he's not getting enough green food. He's not getting enough pH balance from that. And his trace minerals, because of that diet, also is very low. The chromium, the trace minerals. So the only recommendations that I'd make on this test would be the greens, the proline greens. If you're going to stay on that diet and not eat the green foods, the proline greens is a must. Secondly, I'd recommend a formulation with chromium in it, possibly the glucose, just for a while. Let's get it back up, get the chromium up. And then lastly, I think was the pH. Well, the pH balance covers that too, the heavy metals. So yeah, keep doing the Live Complete for that mercury that's in his teeth. Okay. And if you do get the mercury out, you have to go to a dentist that absolutely knows how to do it. There's a procedure, there's a correct way, there's a wrong way. They take it out the wrong way, the mercury just explodes in you. So keep that in mind.
We're not talking hundreds and hundreds of dollars worth of supplements.
No.
We're basically, like you said, course correcting, where we just add a few, mostly diet, add a few things to help it along.
Yeah. And this test, more than anything else, it validates your lifestyle, or it shows you a probable cause of something that's going on. When we test a lot of people that work, say, like if they have work in the mines or in factories or in auto shops, it shows up. It shows up because they're going to see the damage with the heavy metals. And these are the types of things. Diet, it always reflects your diet, and especially if you've been on that diet for some time. Because remember, this is not yesterday. This is a snapshot of your life, months and years.
I've done intermittent fasting and carnivore for 10 years.
Really? Okay. Yeah. So this is showing you months and years worth of accumulation in your body. Okay. Any questions? Right. Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. You know what that is? That's great marketing. I understand, but he does great marketing. Now, look, for a while there, the only salt you were supposed to eat was sea salt. Then it was Celtic sea salt. Then it's kosher salt. Then Himalayan pink salt. Now it's Himalayan. Now it's gray salt. Look, if you get it in its unrefined state, in little rocks, and you grind it yourself, Celtic is good. Pink is good. Yes, kosher is okay. But the one you don't want is refined table salt. That's the bottom line.
Off the shelf in Giant Eagle.
Off the shelf in the restaurants, don't want it. Mm-hmm. You don't need to have. She asked. The question was, she has all 4 of the Pro colors. She was putting 1 scoop of each in 1 shaker a day. Oh,
Right.
so you took all 4 canisters, mixed it into one. In one jar.
Yeah, so if it was evenly mixed,
Even?
you may.
Mm-hmm. No. You do not need 4 scoops. 1 scoop is good. No. No, you don't. And here's why. Okay, think of it now as pretty much you're getting a rainbow diet now because you're getting all of the benefit from all the colors. And if you think about food and diet, and if you think about crops and seasons, you never eat, ideally we shouldn't eat the same foods every season, right? Because there's a reason why certain foods grow at certain time, and you don't eat the same. Most people don't eat the same exact meal every single day. So it's okay to vary it, and even if you didn't put them all into one container, you don't need 1 scoop of each one of them every day. No, you mix and match it. I even like using them on a quarterly basis. For example, the greens. What's detox season? After the holidays, usually, right?
Right.
Good time to
New
do the
Year's
greens.
resolutions.
Yeah, right. Okay, what's the growth season? That's spring, right? When you start to growth and bloom. Okay, maybe then you want the pro reds,
The berries,
and the antioxidants, right? And then you have when would you need extra energy? Maybe move hollow time, but fall. You're gonna, sun goes away. You need a little extra. That's oranges would be great.
doing yard work in the
Yeah,
summer.
doing yard work in the summer. The purples is a universal because it's for we talked at 11 about age management, but that's for age management. So, but yeah, you don't eat the same food all the time. No, that's not. It's not why. The reason we don't sell a rainbow is because each one of them also has a very specific nutrient blend, to target something. Yes, exactly. Good question, though. Thank you. Any other questions? Yes, sir. Mhm. Yes, infrared, far infrared sauna. Regular sauna, nah, not as much. Doesn't get deep enough. It doesn't get into the tissue. But a far infrared sauna does get into the tissue and will pull heavy metals out. Yes, sir. Good question.
Now, since I do a lot of fish, could that be
Mercury could be coming
also
from there as
too?
well. Yes.
Although I do eat the small fish, like you say.
Yes, as long as if you're eating small fish, you won't get a lot of mercury. But there are it's like swordfish is loaded, tuna, tilapia. Those are all loaded, and those are the most commercially used fish out there. The larger the fish, more the mercury it's going to have. So sardines, mackerel, anchovies, no mercury, and lots of omega 3s. Yeah, Kevin and I usually we bring in the same can of sardines. We buy the same brand.
Lunch.
Yeah, we're probably he's the only other person I met that eats sardines like me. So okay, any other questions? Good. All right, well, that's the demo of the OligoScan. Again, we have it here at the Wellness Center. It's a $99 test, and you get a full evaluation along with that, a printout of the results. And what we normally would recommend is doing it maybe 3 to 6 months later, because again, it's not a snapshot of a daily routine, it's an accumulation, so it takes time. If you adjust and do something to get rid of the metals, increase your minerals in tissue, you're not going to increase it overnight. In blood, you'll see a difference, but not in tissue. Okay.
Anybody want to join me for some greens?
I think Kev's going to make up a batch of greens back there. Go ahead. All right. Thanks, Kev.
Okay.
Thanks, everybody. Well, tomorrow, Friday, for the Wellness Week. Where's that schedule? On the floor there. Can you grab that, Kev? Let's take a look at what we got tomorrow. Thank you. So tomorrow we have at 11 a.m., we have Dr. Ross. Okay. Oh, and he's going to be talking to you golfers out there. Okay. So if you golf, you're not going to want to miss this. See, Dr. Ross is a Titleist Performance Institute certified chiropractor. So you don't want to miss that. If you golf, the round table is going to be with Dr. V, Dr. Mary Valverde Alice. She's the fertility specialist from down in Atlanta, Georgia. And at 1:00, Dr. Ross will be back with a live demo of the Normatec boots, the infrared sauna, and vibration therapy. That's all tomorrow, folks. Tune in. We'll see you then. I'm Joe Messino. Keep an attitude of gratitude, and you will live long.